So by 1983, football is gone, the money is gone, the property, prestige, the jewelry's gone, this Super Bowl ring is gone. Cocaine, alcohol, all drugs. Took it away from me. Took everything away from me. And I know as you sit here tonight, it's taken some things from you too. I got into a treatment program and I heard about the 12 steps and I had nothing to lose but to sort of try this thing. Because see, I didn't know that being clean was an option. I figured I could manage it. I could drink beer only. I could drink a quart of gin only. I could just do a little toot every now and then. But in 1983, I met a doctor who changed my life. I met a program that changed my life. It was that somebody said just 24 hours at a time, Thomas, you can do this. And I'm thinking, for what? Can't play football no more. I'm on my way to the penitentiary. What for? And then he said to me, anything is possible if you clean. Nothing is possible if you use. A lot of us go through these drug programs around the country. Some of you here tonight are in a drug program. And we hear sometimes what we want to hear. I think the first time I got out of treatment in 81, got in my Mercedes, headed back toward Texas, and had a buddy with me. I rolled up a big joint of weed and said to my buddy, we were riding down the highway, I'm just 60 days, just getting out of treatment. One day, a couple hours, I say to my buddy riding down the highway, I say, yeah, I think this program's going to work. Yeah, this going to be good. But the insanity of addiction is what it is. There are those of us who are constitutionally incapable of changing our ideas. I was in prison with a guy, and I called myself going to work with him. He was an older gentleman, like 62 years old. And I pulled my books out, and I started reading and preaching and ministering to this guy, and boy, I thought I had him. I said, man, listen, you don't want to go back to your mama's house. You don't want to go back in that neighborhood. You don't want to go stay where you were staying. You need to do this, and that. Well, he gets out. I'm still in prison. About 95 days later, he come down the hall with his issue. Back in prison in 94 days. And I walked up to him. I said, hey, man, what happened? And he said something so profound that I couldn't respond. He says, man, I don't know nothing else. And those are probably the greatest words of a relapsing person who can't get this thing. I don't know nothing else. That's why the process tries to teach you something else. But if you're sitting there fighting it and rejecting it and think you got a better idea, you slick on it. I had a buddy of mine get out of prison once, and he said, he had a great idea. He says, he got out of prison, had about 12 felonies, sticking guns in people's faces and robbing drugstores, and he gets out and he says, okay, I got a plan. I'm only going to commit misdemeanors now. Well, that's a damn fool right there. It's just like in these clinics now. You take a person through the full process, and they get out, and I had a buddy of mine, went straight to a crack house. Went in there, he said, I want a rock. Guy gives him a rock. He takes the rock and sets over to the side. He said, I want another rock. So he sits there and he smokes 30 or 40 rocks, leaving that rock over there. Finally, the drug dealer said, hey, fool, why you got that rock over there? He said, well, at the drug clinic, they told me it was that first one I got to look out first. I played with a guy named Randy White, who's in the Hall of Fame. Great player, you know, big old strong guy. You know, I think that he was on steroid. And one day I had a fight with him, and he threw me in my locker, and he pinned me to the ground, and I couldn't get up, you know. And I'm thinking later on in life now, you know, I'm thinking, you know, that wasn't fair. You know, he on steroid, I'm on crack. That shit wasn't fair.